Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Jay Height. I'm a family law attorney here in Israel, and I want to talk about something that comes up a lot in my practice. What happens a lot is that
Hi, my name is Jay Height.
you're
I'm a family law.
representing somebody in a divorce, and all of a sudden they come and they say, "Hey, my spouse has been bad mouthing me," and it happens a lot, and it's a horrible thing. And everybody knows that we have this law here in Israel, right? It's called Chok Isur Lashon Hara, which means basically the law against defamation. And everyone says, "Hey, I want to go after my spouse. We're in a divorce case already, and anyway, so let's just add more." So, first of all, well, can you do it? How does it work? What's the story? That's what I'd like to address in this video today. So first of all, just so that you know, this law, it's not only civil, it's also civil and criminal. So yeah, yes, everyone knows that you can sue for each occurrence of this defamation for up to 50 to 100,000 shekels, right? But in addition to that, if you make a criminal complaint, and if the police decide to prosecute it, they won't, okay, at least between spouses they won't, but if they did, then the person could get up to a year in jail, okay? In any case, there are a whole bunch of things that just people don't realize, and that's part of the reason that I'm making this video. So for example, people read the lawsuit that's been filed against them or the response, and they go, "Oh my God, can you believe what she said or what he said? I want to sue for that." Well, first of all, it doesn't work that way. You're not allowed to sue. You can't call defamation things that are said in the lawsuit, okay? The defamation has to be made to a third party, number one. And number two, of course, the other thing is that it has to be damaging. So definitely the things that are in the lawsuits, that the mud that people are throwing around a lot of times is damaging. But by definition, stuff in a lawsuit isn't considered to be defamation, because the judge is going to have to go through and decide. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. And just as a general rule, in any case, there are 13 categories of things. There's a list of 13 things that will never be Lashon Hara. They will never be defamation. Okay, so for example, things that are said in the Knesset or in a shiva of the government. Okay. Things that are said by the Mevaker HaMedina, things that are said by a judge, whether it's a rabbinical court judge or a regular court judge, as when he's acting as a judge. I mean, what else? Things that are said in international negotiations with things, et cetera. I mean, so there's just a whole bunch of things that aren't even included. Or here, another one, I'm just opening up the law and looking at it, okay? Things where you give a summary of things that have been given in a legal directory, okay? Things like that, i.e. if I were to start reading things about my spouse from something that had been in a public paper, that's not going to be good, considered Lashon Hara, okay? So I guess you have to have those two things. Like I said, it has to be something that subjectively the reasonable person would find insulting, and it has to be something that you found insulting and that was published to others, which is the other thing. What is published to others? If I'm just speaking to you, my spouse, and saying things, well, that's never going to be covered to the others. But when yes, well, I guess the best cases nowadays, for me as an attorney anyway, are when the spouse goes and starts bad-mouthing the other spouse on social media networks. In other words, when there are Facebook posts about things, when there are posts about in Instagram or wherever it is, talking about one of the spouses being really bad, that raises a red flag, right? Those are the cases where you say, oh, there might be something here. But another case is when people go and make false claims, false police claims, right? We call that thlunat shav. When they do that in order to try to get some type of tactical advantage in their divorce, that's another great case for us as attorneys to say, hey, that's lashon hara. You should definitely be suing. And remember, this is something that a lot of people don't remember. If you are bringing a defamation case and you're already in front of a family court judge, right? Well, your case is going to continue to be heard in front of that judge. So there are pluses and minuses there, right? Some of the pluses are that, hey, the judge gets a real idea of who they're dealing with, okay? But one of the minuses is that a lot of times the judge might discount it. They might say, things were going really bad. They were really fighting, and they won't give you, I would say the type of care that you would get if you were just having a regular case against somebody who wasn't your spouse and not, of course, in the course of the divorce. Okay. In any case, let's look at some other interesting information that I've gleaned for you. Okay. Well, first of all, some interesting parts of the law, okay, sections of the law. Section 1 defines what lashon hara or defamation is, okay, and it's the expression that has been publicized in order to lower somebody else, okay, and it can be over age, religion, etc. Just saying they're a bad person. Also, if you try to hurt somebody's job or his occupation by publishing bad things about them, well, that's lashon hara. Also, the types of ways of talking, okay? In other words, what is the pirsum? What is the publication? Okay, so as I told you, my favorite ones are the ones that are on social medias, but it can be oral, it could be written, it could be on a painting, things like that. I had talked about the criminal liability, okay, and like I said, in accordance with section 6, someone can go to jail for up to a year if they do it. Again, I haven't really seen it, but I have seen a lot of the civil liabilities. Now, what I usually find is that people will win an amount, but it'll never be the full amount. In other words, the way the law works is that even if you can't prove damages, you can get 50,000 shekels, and that can be doubled in some cases, so up to 100,000 shekels without proving damages. And if you can prove specific damages, then you can get, whatever that damage amount is. Okay. But as I said, there are the defenses that I spoke about before. And above and beyond that, there are other defenses. Okay. So for example, people always try to go and say, well, there's a defense called emet bepirsum, the truth in whatever they've advertised. Another one is that it was done in good faith. In other words, they didn't realize that what they were saying was lashon hara even. Again, there are instances where things are excluded because of, if someone is an ish tzibor, someone is someone who is known in public, someone who's famous, etc. And just since I mentioned the Tom Lev, good faith, well, when it's something where you're giving an opinion and the person gets hurt, that isn't always in good faith. So be careful when you say things about that. And the most interesting case I had there was where someone said stuff about some artwork that someone had done, that their spouse had done, and that was considered. And before the divorce, they hadn't been considered. They hadn't said bad stuff about his artwork. Afterwards, they did, and boom! In that case, they did consider it lashon hara. So why am I telling you all this information? Just because I find out all too often, two things happen. First of all, people who are going through divorces come to me and start saying, hey, my spouse is bad-mouthing me. So I'm telling you guys, you shouldn't be doing it. It's not going to help you. And it could lead to a potential suit against you for defamation. So that's number one. And then number two is because I can't tell you how many times I see people who really just intend to vent, but they end up going on to Facebook groups or into WhatsApp groups I've seen also, and they start saying these things about their spouse. And I'm looking and saying, whoa, what did you do? Do you not realize that you're opening yourself up to a potential suit and to potential legal liabilities? So what I suggest is, hey, don't badmouth your spouse in front of other people. And if you're going to, maybe just tell your best friend the things that are happening, make sure it doesn't go further, because if the best friend decides to publish those things, well, you still got a problem, as does the best friend. But, don't air your dirty laundry in public, especially when you're going through a divorce. So that's all for today. This is Jay Height, and I hope to be able to give you some more information about the laws of how things work when you're getting divorced in Israel. If you have any questions, or if you want me to speak about something specific, then send me an email. You can go through my YouTube channel and reach me from there. And it's jay.heit@orcheidin, orcheidin.co.il. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.